The demo for the new Star Fox game is out, and I've played it, and it's fantastic. I've been playing Star Fox for decades, and I'm so excited to be back with Fox and the whole of Team Star Fox once again. I do feel a little weird that this is a remake that's had a reimagining of a remaster of the original that was also a reimagining of the very first game in the series. That checks out. However, none of that matters because this remake signals a reset for the franchise, and I'm here for it. I only have two hopes: that it spawns new games and that the game plays well and is most importantly fun. After playing the demo, I'm very pleased with what I've seen. In fact, I think I've fallen in love with this game all over again, and I can't wait to see more of the new elements and content being teased in the demo. It seems strange to play a demo of a remake of a game I've played countless times and also played the remasters and reimaginings of so many times. I'm glad I did though, because I thought I couldn't be more excited to play this game, and I was so wrong. I've gone over my thoughts on the new art direction and graphics in other videos. In short, I love it, but it really is a different experience going hands-on with it though. Thankfully, I love the way it looks even more. I think the game looks incredible and the characters are fantastic. Yes, they're a little weird, but I don't care because they look incredible and I'm excited to see more of them in the brand new cutscenes the game has. But more on those a little bit later. The gameplay is what we're really here for, and it's, well, Star Fox 64, but smoother, slicker, and fine-tuned. The original N64 title already played fantastically well, and the 3DS remaster was generally the same game feel. This 2026 version, however, it's hard to put your finger on it, but it just feels different and better. There is a smoothness to it that I didn't know the original lacked. The R-Wing glides across the screen, but you can almost feel the weight of it now. I think there's an ever so slight ramp up of speed right at the start of the movement. Instead of moving in a very linear fashion, you'd think this might make you slower, but it really doesn't. It just slightly elevates the original experience. The new visual effects when boosting and braking also helps provide a sense of speed change that the original game couldn't quite manage. But the best and biggest change is how tactile everything feels. The new sound effects combined with the controller's haptics provide a level of feedback that the original Star Fox 64, coming bundled with the N64 Rumble Pack, could only dream of. The audio is also great. The new musical arrangements of these classic, incredible tracks are absolutely excellent. But as I previously mentioned, it's the sound effects that really make the audio shine. Everything sounds so much more modern and cleaner now. It all has more punch and zap, if you know what I mean. The biggest change in this version is, of course, the new cutscenes. What I didn't expect was the increased lines of dialogue during the level. Now, before you think it'll sound annoying or get irritating, I really didn't find that it did. The interactions were great, context relative, and were more personal and explored the dynamics and relationships of these characters much, much more than the original. Again, before you think this is a yap fest, it's much more subtle than that. In the N64 version, when you save Peppy from being attacked, he says, "Thanks, Fox," in a fairly neutral tone. Now Peppy says, "Thanks, kid." I feel this subtle change really helps define the relationship between these two characters, and the tone in which he says it sounds like relief and gratitude. Now, of course, one word change isn't monumental, but these changes and this approach to dialogue is throughout the level and cutscenes. In short, the writing is much, much better. One surprising incident was the end of the training level's change. Falco now ramps up the difficulty and begins to compete with Fox as to who's the better pilot. I should also mention the interactions between Falco and Fox are, in my opinion, vastly improved. Before, I always felt Falco was a bit of a to be honest. He seemed to insult and attack Fox at any opportunity. Now, he still does that, but we see examples of Fox returning that banter, and it creates a better dynamic between the pair, feeling much more like a rivalry than Falco just chatting all the time. Back to the training level. This eventually ends with the level glitching, and it goes into a cutscene revealing they were all sat in the Great Fox with VR headsets on, running a simulation. Now, this isn't huge, but it does represent a change in a level that is directly leading into a cutscene. I really hope we see more of that. I'd love for levels to have some changes or new secrets to discover. I don't think the purpose of this particular remake is to go too far down that road, but I find it exciting that it might. All in all, this was a pretty by-the-books demo. I think it was a great idea to give us Meteos, not Corneria, because it's also an iconic level, and it visually looks incredible compared to the original, but is a fairly bland level. And with how much I love the way it looks, Corneria will be an absolute treat when I finally get the full game. For more demo reviews, Switch 2 content, and more on Star Fox, make sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!